who gives a damn?
That's a great question.
He's not on a construction site. Right. He's at a bar with a bunch of guys having a good time.
Right.
I mean, how many times you're out with guys and you'll take their baseball hat and put it on, or you'll do something, whatever. You're just having a good time having a beer. So he's wearing a hard hat backwards.
Right.
He's not on a construction site. Nothing's falling on his head. Yep. And they make this just really, really big deal about Joe Biden and his helmet. And I'm sitting there going, what's the deal?
Yeah. So I'm 100% with you. Why is this, top line news? My guess would be because of his position. But what would you say? Like, given this is
give the guy a. All right, I'm not even a minor Joe Biden fan.
Right.
Okay, there's a lot of things I can criticize him for. None of them are having a beer wearing somebody else's hard hat backwards. I think his entire administration is backwards. I think a lot of what Joe Biden does certainly does require a hard hat. He's certainly a guy that has probably taken quite a few blows to the noggin in his 80-ish number of years that he's been on this planet. Welcome back to Safety News. This is Russ Kendzior, joined by my co-host, Sean Joseph. How you doing, Sean?
Doing well, Russ.
We're not going to mention the failure of the University of Texas in football, but were you a bit taken aback by that loss?
I was. We didn't deliver. We had all the chance in the world to win that game. Started out slow, and sorry, Longhorn Nation. Hopefully we'll be back.
Well, we did better than the Cowboys, right?
That's
a good way to put it. But we got a big show today, so let's get the show on the road. This is actually an interesting story, one that's getting a lot of attention. I'm not really certain why. It seems to be just a story about kind of nothing. And I don't know if you saw this or not, but Fox News, here's another example. Biden's hard hat. Joe Biden wore a hard hat. And so the title was Biden Hard Hat Debacle is latest black mark for left-leaning fact-checking site Snopes. Snopes once partnered with Facebook on a fact-checking venture. The story goes on to say that, there it is. Remember that? Did you see this picture?
I have not. No.
You have not seen this picture?
I haven't.
You have not seen this picture?
No.
Seriously.
It's
been all over the media.
Yeah.
So anyhow, here's the picture. You got Joe Biden in the back, and he's wearing his hard hat backwards. You notice that? So he's out with the guys. You notice who's the woman holding the brewski in her hand? Who is that?
I don't know, but she may be a public figure or the boss.
Amy Klobuchar.
Okay.
So there's Joe having a brewski with the guys, and he's wearing his hard hat helmet backwards. Okay?
Okay.
I don't know if that makes sense to you or not, but like this.
There you go.
Look at that, baby.
Looky. It's a good look.
So, note that Joe Biden's hard hat is the same like mine, where the adjustment knob is in the front. Right here.
Okay.
Yeah. That's how you adjust it.
Sure.
This little knob tightens it up. So he's kind of sort of wearing it like this, when it's supposed to be like this. Okay? This is the way you wear a hard hat. Quickly, when you look at the side view, you see how the back portion actually grabs the back of your head.
Right.
All that does is it really just positions the hard hat properly on your head. So Joe Biden, just goofing around with the guys. Thumbs up with Amy Klobuchar. This looks like a real dull group. The guys are pretty cool. They're all drinking their, I'm just telling you, dude, seriously, you want to have a beer with Amy Klobuchar? No, not doing that. But so there they are, thumbs up, way to go, Joe. So they made a big deal about, Joe Biden and his helmet. So there's the helmet he's wearing, okay? Kind of like you see the one I got on, same thing. Here it is. Here's the, here's the deal. So he's been Mr. Cool Guy and wearing his hat backwards. So the whole story's been revolving around this Snopes. the fact checker.
Right.
Snopes reversed one of its rulings over the weekend to admit that President Biden did, in fact, wear a construction hard hat backwards. Biden was pictured during a visit to union workers in Wisconsin, and the photo showed Biden noticeably wearing the hard hat backwards, with the strap and tightening knob clearly visible. Snopes published an initial fact check admitting the photo was authentic, but insisting the president was correctly wearing the protective headwear. So the first question I ask you is, who gives a damn?
That's a great question.
He's not on a construction site. Right. He's at a bar with a bunch of guys having a good time.
Right.
I mean, how many times you're out with guys and you'll take their baseball hat and put it on, or, you'll do something, whatever. You're just having a good time having a beer. So he's wearing a hard hat backwards.
Right.
He's not on a construction site. Nothing's falling on his head. Yep. And they make this just really, really big deal about Joe Biden and his helmet. And I'm sitting there going, what's the deal?
Yeah. So I'm 100% with you. Why is this, top line news? My guess would be because of his position. But what would you say? Like, given that this is
give the guy a. All right, I'm not even a minor Joe Biden fan.
Right.
Okay, there's a lot of things I can criticize him for. None of them are having a beer wearing somebody else's hard hat backwards. I think his entire administration is backwards. I think a lot of what Joe Biden does certainly does require a hard hat. He's certainly a guy that has probably taken quite a few blows to the noggin in his 80-ish number of years that he's been on this planet. But just blowing off steam with a bunch of guys, I mean, really, that's where we are. And so the whole story goes on where it talks about, well, if you look at first glance, it looks like Biden was wearing the hat backwards, but after comparing it to photos and videos of the same event, we were forced to reach the opposite conclusion. The hat on Biden's head was facing forward, billed to the front, not backwards, Snopes initially claimed. All right, social media users blasted Snopes, as hard hats usually have the tightening strap on the back. The liberal fact check site then issued an about face. So,
I have a question for you.
Please.
Is there any part of you that thinks the focus on how he's wearing his hat is about any lack of mental faculties or credibility to continue being president?
I'm just giving the guy a break, okay? Just of all the crap he does. I mean, like, he smells girls' hair. He's a weird guy. All right, this is just a non-story. And why the media has just droned down the Snopes got it wrong. Well, they get a lot of things wrong. They're a left-leaning organization. They're going to bend things. But you know what I'm going to say? Snopes doesn't have any experience. They don't have any safety people on their team. And they're making a big deal about the hat was on backwards. His hard hat was on backwards. So when it goes on. Actually, they keep going. The prevailing counter-argument is that if the suspension of the hat has been purposefully configured by its owner such that the bill and the tightening knob are worn to the back, as was the case with the hat Joe Biden wore, to wear that hat with the bill facing forward is, practically speaking, to wear it backwards. Like, this makes sense. Therefore, it's argued it's actually true that in the photo op discussed below, Biden was wearing it backwards. The strap and tightening knob, which should have been behind Biden's head, were on his forehead, Snopes editors noted in an updated version of the fact check. So, again, who cares? Now, if you're trying to say, well, look, you're setting a bad example for how to wear a hard hat. Okay. Not a lot of people wear hard hats in a bar with a beer in their hand, needing the hard hat. I don't think these guys are on the clock, right? And they're all kind of having a brewski there in Wisconsin, don't you know?
Yeah.
With some brats, some cheese. So let them blow off some steam. But the fact is, there is a proper way to wear a hard hat. I don't know if you know that or not. And there's a purpose for it. And so this came out when applying your hard hat. Make sure that the bill of the cap is pointing toward the front of the head. It is possible to put your gear on backwards, and doing so will reduce the efficacy of the product. Most newer models are crafted to be worn both forwards and backwards.
Oh.
And include a reverse donning arrow marking to denote this versatile usage figure. If your helmet does not include such labels, the best way to wear the hard hat would be with the brim pointing straight ahead. Application techniques may differ from product to product, so review the manufacturer's instructions for placing the hat on your head. And so, good. If you're on the job site, and in fact, I got another hat here, Sean. This is actually the one I use. It doesn't have a knob on the back. It just has a strap.
Okay.
Okay. But you notice the strap kind of comes down. It kind of grabs the back of your head.
Can I come over there and tap it?
So you can actually drop you can probably drop Joe Biden on my head. I'm saying. So it's just a different version of the hat. Now, if you want to wear this hat, this hard hat, backwards to look kind of cool, meaning the bill in the back, you know what? All you do is you take out the mesh, the webbing. See, this all comes out. You just take it out.
Okay.
Let me back up here. You take it out and you reverse it. In other words, the webbing is interchangeable. Mm-hmm. That's what they're trying to say. So you just reverse it, so the part of the helmet that grabs the back of your head just gets reversed. Yeah. So you can reverse it. Now, Joe Biden didn't know that. Yeah. But you know what, Sean? There's a lot that Joe Biden doesn't know. I don't think Joe Biden knew he was in Wisconsin. I don't think he knew who Amy Klobuchar was. He probably thought it was his sister and his wife. He gets them all mixed up. So if you want to pick on Joe Biden, we can do that all day long. He's a great guy to just kind of repeat his messaging, because usually it's all confabulated, mixed up, difficult to understand, very, very confusing, and he really is, sadly, the guy who's running the free world. And so him putting a hard hat on backwards with the group in Wisconsin having a brewski is really very, very small in terms of the real damage that's being done to our country by this guy. But, so all I could tell you is we make a lot out of nothing. And so this particular story is a non-starter in the book.
Yep, I wholeheartedly agree. Whether he is or whether he isn't, there was time spent on this, there was editing, there was publishing, there was time spent debriefing, and our country has serious issues that they have to fix. Yeah. So I guess my core question to you, Russ, is how can we justify spending time talking about this minutia instead of the fact that we're in significant national debt to other countries?
It's because the media doesn't really ever talk about what's important to people. The media always likes to cover nonsensical, kind of stupid, purposeless stories that really don't make any of us better. They don't really seek to improve our society, our way of life. It's just, Fox News is attacking Snopes, and 9 out of 10 people don't even know who the hell Snopes is, but they're going to go after him because they think they can. Now, there's a legitimate side to this story. If you say, look, we want to make sure people are wearing helmets properly in the workplace, well, that's a discussion. Right. But this is ridiculous, okay? It's just a non-starter, and I just found it embarrassing. But it did open, at least for us, the show to talk about how to wear a hard hat. And just recently, I don't know if you know this, but recently OSHA came out with a new rule whereby they have a new hard hat.
Oh, wow.
In other words, the days of the hard hats I've been showing you are gone. They have a new hard hat. Did you know that?
I didn't know.
Yep. OSHA announces switch from traditional hard hats to safety helmets.
Whoa.
To protect agency employees. Yeah. I want you to check this bad boy.
That's good.
Hold on.
Those were very good.
Hold on, man. Looking good here.
Hey,
look like a coal mine.
I can't help myself.
But this is the new helmet. Look at that. See, it's got a back portion.
Nice.
And this is the helmet that OSHA inspectors now are mandated to wear.
Okay.
For 2 reasons. It's got a chin strap so it won't fall off your head. But when you slip and fall, the back protection will protect the back of your head. So this is the new OSHA required hard hat.
Do you mind, so the folks can just give them a side view of
There's the profile.
Yeah, cheers.
See it? It's got a little back panel there. It's got a 6-panel mesh, if you look closely.
Yeah, that's a different look.
It's got more head support. It's got the same adjustment control on the back. In this case, it's a knob. So you tighten it up and you loosen it up based on the size of your pumpkin head. You have a very large head, and I'm just curious how big Joe Biden's head is. But that's the new OSHA required helmet. I don't know if you saw this or not, but it just came out.
It looks legit, and honestly, I think it looks kind of stylish too. Like it gets the job done functionally.
You know what? I never thought of it as stylish. That's a good idea. You want to look your best.
Like aerodynamically, it looks well designed. That's all I'm saying.
Aerodynamically, right? I like that. Aerodynamically, as your head's bouncing off the ground. But this came about. Bureau of Labor Statistics reports that head injuries accounted for nearly 6% of non-fatal occupational injuries involving days away from work. Almost half of those injuries occurred while workers came in contact with an object or equipment, while about 20% were caused by slips, trips, and falls. So slips and falls are causing a lot of this to change. And again, if you look at the conventional hard hat, it doesn't really provide any back of the head protection, and it doesn't have a chin strap. So it literally can fall off your head. Okay? Mm-hmm. So, although this has been around for many, many years, at least, 50 years, the hard hat. By the way, you notice it has a little Safety News logo on there, buddy?
Yeah.
Safety is really important. In fact, we need to wear these during the show. Just have safety helmets.
You know what?
That kind of sends the message, doesn't it, that we care.
I think it could be a moniker in the safety community. I'm not saying, I really, truly believe that, that the hard hat is there for a reason to protect. You add the Safety News logo to it, it'll symbolize just deeper level of thinking on things. Hopefully that's what we're doing on the show.
Deeper level of thinking.
Yeah. I mean, for instance, I think a whole episode, maybe this is a side thing, but a whole episode could probably be done on the design of the hats and the efficacy data.
Well, the reason I brought up hard hats is because it became part of the media cycle because Joe Biden was at a bar with Amy Klobuchar having a grand old time wearing a hard hat, somebody else's hard hat backwards. Mm-hmm. But it does open the door for us to talk about head safety, PPE. Mm-hmm. And so we're going to play a little game, Sean, which, you always love to do this.
Yeah.
This one is going to be called, you ready for this? Name the helmet.
Okay, all right.
Can you do this?
Are you
up for it?
I'm doing it. Let's do it.
Okay. What kind of helmet is this?
That is a bicycle helmet.
Bicycle helmet?
Yes.
Very good.
All right.
What kind of helmet is this?
That is a hockey goalie mask.
No.
No, that's
you reacted too fast. What is this helmet?
You know what? I did react too fast. I know goalie mask you pull over the face.
Right.
That, I think, actually might be a lacrosse helmet.
Very good. Very good. Lacrosse helmet. Boy, you are on a roll, buddy. How about this one?
That is a hockey helmet.
Look at you. All right, so you're a guy that clearly knows his helmets. At least in the sports world.
Absolutely.
Is that fair to say?
I think that's true.
Well, it's going to branch you out a little bit. Okay, well, it's going to show you some helmets that you're probably going to say, I'm not certain about these. So let's go for it. Okay, I got 4 helmets. A, B, C, and D. Can you tell me which one of these, Sean, is a mountain climbing helmet?
The mountain climbing
Which one
helmet.
is the mountain climbing helmet?
B, final answer.
B.
B.
Okay. Which one is the new OSHA hard hat? I already showed you.
Oh, which one is it? It is, D.
I'm just guessing.
No, the new OSHA hard hat is D.
So B, D, which is a polo helmet.
C.
Okay, so B, D, C, and of course A would be your motorcycle helmet. Is that what you're trying to say to me?
It is, but I've never seen a yellow motorcycle helmet. I mean, I have a feeling that's wrong, but I'm gonna stick with my logic for now. Maybe one of them's wrong, but no. Oh, can I change it?
You can change it.
Okay, so
it's not a contest. I just want to know. I mean, you seem to get sports helmets down pretty well. See, and I think this exercise reveals that.
Yeah.
Is when it comes to head protection, they come in different shapes and sizes, and for guys that are into sports, you kind of are familiar with them because you watch a lot of sports, right? But for people that are not necessarily employed in a construction-related job, you may have less familiarity with helmets that are used to protect your head from a workplace injury. Fair?
100% fair.
All right, so
Okay, so D is the OSHA hard hat. C is the polo helmet. A is the mountain climbing hat. B is the motorcycle helmet.
final answer.
Fine answer.
Well, you got that one wrong.
Damn
The this is the JSP 6151 short brim safety helmet. That's one I was wearing.
That was the one. See, I thought you had that strap. That's why I got.
Oh, the strap. He didn't know there was a strap.
I really didn't know.
Oh,
I know that makes
God,
me
what
look
am I
like
going to do?
I admit that makes me look like a total noob.
Oh,
That's
no,
what you
strap. Okay, so you got that one wrong.
do. Yeah, darn.
You actually got this one wrong, too.
Dang it. This was the.
This is the Zox 88-00112 Polo Sport Solid helmet. You guess this one is the motorcycle helmet.
I know.
Not true. Not true. Maybe if they played sports in it, you would know. Polo is a sport, isn't it?
It is.
You got this one wrong, too. This is the motorcycle helmet. I'm sorry, polo cap. This is the Yes Motor half helmet, polo cap, half shell, open-faced motorcycle helmet. So you could have gotten it right
Yeah.
because it kind of doubles as both.
Okay.
I'm not going to give you credit for that at all.
No, I don't deserve
You're not
it.
going to get it. So.
I appreciate
And, of course, you really messed this one up.
Oh, that's the.
There it is.
Man, this is pretty fascinating.
Fascinating. Who said that personal protective equipment isn't fun?
Right.
You got 0 out of 4. I mean, maybe the motorcycle helmet because it's both, but
No, I got you.
realistically, Sean, you kind of.
I appreciate you keeping.
You
it.
screwed up, Sean. Okay, we'll just call a spade a spade.
I'm coming back. Better
You got it wrong, so there you go. So what's number 1? Number 1 is the new OSHA hard hat. A.
Cheers.
Okay. B is the what?
Is the polo helmet.
Right. C is the motorcycle helmet, and D is the mountain climbing helmet.
There we go.
So you kind of, sort of, well, you just didn't do very well there, Sean. I'm sorry.
I did not, but I appreciate you shedding light to this because I definitely have already learned, I think, some serious foundations about hard hat safety, helmet safety. I mean, and then just be more conscious of it. There are so many activities that we do out in the world, whether it's your work, whether it's recreation, sport, whatever it may be, where, I mean, this is your life. This is everyone's livelihood at the core. You know, protecting that.
Meaning the noggin?
100%. Like, now that we're talking about it, so I worked for an old boss, and I remember asking him one time, what is his greatest fear? And he said,
Hiring you.
that's a given. He was like, you know what? I just don't know why I did it. Now it's just coming back to bite me. What he said, brain damage. That was his number one.
He wakes up every day worrying about brain damage.
But
Wow. Who who was this? Don't tell me his name, but what kind of job are we talking about that this guy woke up worrying about brain damage and would actually share that with you? I mean, what was? Give me a little backstory here.
He's an entrepreneur like you. I think, the point that he was making was if I do anything that enhances the risk to my brain's safety, that's going to limit the life I want to live, the person that I want to be. And I remember watching Bill Gates' documentary on Netflix. Coincidentally, that was his same fear too, is like, just protecting his brain. And so I think about it as we're talking about this, there's so many elements to safety. And then if we get into the narrow, depths of protecting your head, any activity that you do
But who walks around worrying about? For example, does that mean he didn't do drugs, he didn't smoke weed, he didn't drink beer?
Yes.
Those are all the things that really affect your brain.
Very aptly put. And
I mean, did he walk around kind of worried about that kind of stuff?
Yes. In his specific story, he was very away from all that stuff. So in college, he mentioned he didn't take a sip of alcohol. He basically locked himself in a room and just worked.
Wow.
Yeah.
Real exciting guy. A lot of fun to be around.
That's also true. It's not the most exciting. His brain is
all right, but just lighten up, man. All right, so while you're worried about your brain, meanwhile your body's falling apart. So you can be like, remember the movie cartoon Futurama where it has the brain in the jar with
Yeah.
the hoses in it and the bubbles. So that'll be him. He'll be a brain in a jar without any body. I mean, look, it's all relative. We're all gonna go. Who knows? I mean, I don't sit around worrying about that stuff, but I will have an occasional adult beverage without really worrying much about destroying the brain cells I have because, what I got is what I got. I'm going to make the use of it. I'm going to make the best use of it. But the thing that was really kind of interesting is how these helmets, at least for OSHA, are now focusing on slips and falls, injuries that come from a fall. So you're walking around on a construction site, you slip and fall or trip and fall, and you land and that could really hurt your head. So the new helmet technology is to provide safety, a certain level of benefit or performance, specifically for construction workers who might be the victim of a slip and fall, which, little spoiler alert, we're going to be covering on a future episode. We're going to be talking about this slip and fall issue, which, as everyone in the audience knows, is my area of specialty. Enjoy talking about it. But today we just covered a lot about Joe Biden, Snopes, a little bit of helmets, which you did well on the sports helmets. Unfortunately, my friend, you didn't do so well on the workplace
Did not.
head protection.
I would come back better.
It was a little bit of a surprise to me. I didn't really think that you would blow it so badly.
I know. And then I started second guessing myself. It was just all downhill from there. So it was bad.
Alrighty, well that's going to wrap up this episode of Safety News. So this is Russ Kendzior with my trusted co-host, Sean Joseph, wishing you a happy and safe day.